Hello, hello. Welcome. Good evening, guys. I wanted to jump in and do a live stream. Obviously, that's why we're here. It's what you guys are looking at. But it's been a long time, feels like a long time since I've created some content for this channel. In fact, I probably should have checked this, but I want to see how long it's been since my last video. Let's take a look here. YouTube, your channel, videos, 3 months. It's been 3 months since I put content on Ride the Car Guy because I've been all over the place. I've been everywhere and nowhere, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But regardless, I haven't been making content, so I want to start kind of laying the groundwork and making some plans about some of the content I want to create this year in 2023. And just kind of reconnect with you guys and make sure you know that I'm still alive and that I'm still out here and that everything's still good. So right off the bat, we have some comments. First of all, do we have some? Looks like we have some folks in here already. Very cool. 13 of you. Awesome. The Tommy says, "Hey from New Jersey, keep the Xterra going." Absolutely will, Tommy. We're going to talk about what's going on with the existing Xterra, mine, and then potentially another one in the future. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's see here. Tommy says, "Sweet, I used your video for the blower resistor, spot on. By the way, 5.5 does the trick." Oh, I probably said 5 in the video, and or maybe 6, but I remember that. It's been a while. That one's still kicking. A lot of people are watching that. Jackie says, "I cannot count how many times I've watched your videos and learned so much. On my '07 Xterra, thank you." Oh, let me do this real quick too. There we go. So you guys can read it as well. Yeah, hey, you're welcome, Jackie. I really appreciate you watching, and I love being able to help people. Right? I've said it on most live chats, but that's live streams. But that's the number one thing I absolutely love about this channel is the ability to kind of go out and help people, or at least point people in the right direction with their vehicles. So, Brandon says, "Missed you." Yes, I missed you too. Tommy says you're echoing. Test, test. It might just be my room, Tommy, because I don't have speakers on my PC at all. I can try turning down the microphone a little bit. Hopefully that helps. Why is it? Oh, is it this? Hold on. No, I don't have it here. How bad is the echo? Is it like just duplicating my voice? Huh. No, weird. I don't know. Hopefully it calms down. Jonathan says, "Appreciate the old Xterra videos." Uh-oh, do you not appreciate the new? Just kidding. I don't know. I had some bangers. I did have some bangers back in the day. Some of the later stuff I've had to really force, to be honest. Brian, Christopher Franco, Rye, heart emoji, thank you. Right back at you. Jackie says, "The GOAT of Xterra fixtures." I love it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Kai says, "Good to see you. When are you bringing back the SUV team?" Oh, I hadn't even thought about it, to be honest, but I think in 2023 we should do some updated merch and bring some stuff back. That one I think you're thinking of is just has the Xterra right on the front of it. That was a collaboration with a digital artist as part of the Xterra subreddit group. And so that is, maybe I'll reach back out to him and he can do like an updated design or something and we can re-release it. I think that sounds like fun. Let's see here. Adjust volume. Hey, is that the same adjust volume that I know from somewhere else? Might be. Still hearing an echo. That's unfortunate. Gosh. Give me 1 second. Let me see how bad it is. I don't know. My PC has been in storage for like 4 months, and I just pulled it back out this like 4 hours ago to kind of, to do this. And I threw everything together, and hopefully it's not. Oh, you know what it might be? Let's take a look here. It might be this here. Is it grabbing? Okay. I just want to make sure it wasn't grabbing, because I have two microphones, but it shouldn't be making that echo. I'm sorry. That's unfortunate. Mark says 100,000, or excuse me, yeah, 100,000 miles on my 2015 Pro 4X. Should I do those position sensors even though no issues yet? It depends on how you use your Xterra. If you use it around town and it's a short jaunt, you know, back home, and it's not a big deal to be stranded, for being honest, then yeah, I wouldn't worry about it until they start giving you problems. The cam position sensors sometimes, at least in my case, like slowly died. So like one day I was at a Home Depot parking lot and it was fine. I parked it, went inside, came back out, and it wouldn't start. And then like I waited a couple minutes, tried again, waited another couple minutes, tried again, and then it started. And then it drove fine for like 2 weeks. And then it started doing it again, and then I was like, okay, I have to do something about this, and you know, kind of not let it go any further. The crank position sensor died while I was driving across country, which was super freaking annoying. We were moving up from we were moving our stuff up from Florida to Kentucky. We'll talk about that in a minute, but moving our stuff up, and it died in the middle of Georgia on the way up, which was super annoying. We had to stay the night between like Atlanta and the Florida border, and I had to fix it like in the parking lot using Walmart tools, but it worked out. I made a video on it, but you guys can see that if you want to see it. I think it was a short, but regardless, if you are taking your Xterra on like longer trips and you're getting into that 100, 150, even up to like 200,000 on the odometer, then yeah, I would consider doing it as a preventative. Everyone yells to get OEM. I didn't, and it's been fine, but you know, I don't want to dissuade people. OEM might be the way to go. But yeah, do them all at once. Don't do them in pieces, because that's what got me into my trouble. I did the cam once they started, the cam position sensors once they started acting up, and then I was like, oh, this is fine, and then it died on me in Georgia. So, all right, let's see. Jackie, amphitheater sound of a mic, no biggie. Okay, awesome. Okay, it could be this room too. I'm in like a circular room that has like a cathedral ceiling too. Brian says, you rock, bro. Love your videos. Thank you so much, Brian. I really appreciate that. Let's see here. Jackie says, had the recall coolant into transmission issue happen right at 100. Ooh, I'm sorry to hear that. The old SMOD, you guys know, right? And then it says, almost 200K now. Any tips? Last things done were the main seal gasket, cam, and crank sensors replaced. I mean, unless you're starting to hear a whine on your timing chain, you would want to do your secondary timing chain guides. Other than that, I mean, these things are, just keep up on your maintenance. Make sure that if you have four-wheel drive, do your front and rear diff fluids, your transfer case fluid, those things are always super ignored. People just kind of say, oh, it's fine. You know, they don't really pay that much attention to it. But especially if you tow, you really should be swapping out your diff fluids and your transfer case fluid as well. So make sure you keep up on those things. And I mean, your transmission was rebuilt, but either way, keep up on your trans fluid as well. It's one thing that people don't. Another one people don't kind of keep up on. Jonathan says, what are your thoughts on Amazon and eBay parts? Well, Jonathan, I don't know how well you know my videos, but I buy a lot of parts off of Amazon because I do affiliate links for my videos. I certainly don't try to hide that fact. It's one way that I have viewers support my channel, is to just buy buy parts through those links, and I get a cut of those. But I would say easily over 50%. So the majority of the parts that I buy are on Amazon. I generally avoid Amazon or like quote cheap parts in very specific instances. So like engine internal parts, so main bearings, rod bearings, oil pumps. What else? Like valve train parts, you know, like cams, lifters, that type of stuff. I will not buy discount. I will either buy from a high-end reputable brand, aftermarket, or I'll go and buy OEM. On, for instance, on my Mustang, if anyone ever watches my Mustang videos, when I rebuilt that, what was that? The 4.6 V8. I did all Ford Performance or OEM parts from Ford, and that was because I was doing like all new Valvetrain stuff that I just did not want to deal with reopening it and going back into it, which is super, super annoying. But for most stuff, especially like appearance stuff, like fun mods to do to your vehicle, I have no issue with Amazon parts, and a lot of that stuff works out just fine. I will tell you, regardless of where you get stuff, there's always a chance that you're going to get a poor quality part or an issue with the part. In fact, I didn't make a video on it because it's like 0 degrees here, but just the other day, I went to Rock Auto, which is another one that I've used for years and years and years, rarely have issues with them, but I had got the wrong part delivered to me from Rock Auto just the other day, and it irritated me, but at the end of the day, I ended up just going back to Nissan and buying the parts from the dealership, but it's not a terrible inconvenience to return it. Nowadays, it worked out. Let's see here. Jackie says, now that I've got that video saved, nice. Mechanic doesn't want to replace secondary timing chain. Yeah, no surprise there. I have found, with discussions on this particular item, Jackie, the secondary timing chains, mechanics will either price themselves out of the job, where like they'll say, well, okay, I don't really want to do it, but I'll charge you $2,500, and if you pay $2,500, I'm going to make a bunch of money and I have to do it, or you're just going to say no and I don't have to deal with it. So there are, some people do that, or they just say we're not going to touch it. So it's unfortunate, but some mechanics will avoid that job just because it's annoying. It's not really, I don't know why. I'm not a mechanic, but Mark says, don't forget the transfer case. Absolutely. So transfer case, differentials, and transmission. They're not, up in the engine bay, so people don't think about them. They're just tucked below the vehicle and just sort of forget about them. I am Dave, a $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Wow. I really appreciate that. Says, hey bro, doing cat replacement as I'm listening. Thanks for all your vids. Cat replacement vid anytime soon. Oh, so cat replacements on the Xterra. Bless your soul, first of all. I'm Dave. I hope that that's going well for you. I wasn't planning on making a cat replacement video again until they went bad. I have 154,000 something on my Xterra, and I haven't had any O2 sensors go. I haven't had any bad readings, like downstream readings from the O2 sensors at all. So I'm just kind of crossing my fingers. I think, and I can verify while we're on here. I can see how quickly I can bring it up. I'm pretty confident, and this might be for another vehicle, but I'm pretty confident the Xterra service manual says to take the engine out, to take the cats out. And, backyard mechanics like us, you find ways around that, but I think the factory service manual actually tells you to just take it out. So let me jump in real fast, because that would be pretty funny if that's right. I'm not just making that up in my head. Let's jump in here real quick. So it was, you said catalytic converters. That's going to be exhausts. Train. Where is that? Exhaust system. And then, they count that as something different. Ugh. Alright, hold on. Give me 1 second. I would share my screen, but I think there is, in fact, I'm fairly confident that there is broadcast restrictions on factory service manuals, and they will be very upset if you start showing them, like showing them to other people without, I guess, you guys paying? I don't know, it seems kind of weird. Cats. Right. We'll look that up while I'm still chatting. I'll see if I can do both at once here. My Adobe Acrobat's going to freak out, but regardless, let me know how it goes. I certainly hope that it works out for you. That is, my understanding is that it's a heck of a job. I haven't done it myself, and like I said, I don't plan to until I'm forced to do it. So either way. Well, I haven't really talked about it, but I'm up in Michigan now, and that's where I'm going to be for a while. If you guys follow what I'm up to regularly, like over the past couple years, or at least since my channel started, you know that I move a lot, like a lot. So it's definitely, another move. Where I said in one of my videos on my second channel, I said I wasn't going to move anywhere north of Kentucky, but here we are. So we're up in Michigan now. It's where my family is. It's where Jesse's family is, and we moved back here for a little bit. And well, I say a little bit. We're supposed to be permanent, but every place we move is supposed to be permanent. And I have my biggest shop yet here, which is super cool. We bought a weird little house in a small town in Michigan, and I have a 30 by 40 foot workshop now. And so that's going to be a lot of fun to outfit. It has a whole office in there. I'll do like one of my goofy little tours like I do on my second channel, and at some point. But regardless, it's giant. It's still not tall enough for a full-size 2-post lift, which is a bummer. But we're gonna have a lot of space to do a lot of things in there. But I'm gonna end up building out like a studio. So I'm sitting in I'll call it like the indoor office, I guess, or my office inside. And this Jesse works from home, so I don't want to disturb him and stuff. So I'm gonna have that separate space out there to make videos during the day, which I think will be a lot of fun. What was I saying? Oh yeah, huge space. I'm super pumped for it. The biggest workshop that we've had yet, except for technically if you count the one that I leased, that one's probably bigger, but it's close to that size, which is super exciting. I'm pretty pumped about it. Let's see here. I think I have it now. It says here, exhaust manifold and 3-way catalyst. This says disconnect, so removal for the left bank, remove air cleaner, blah blah blah, that's fine. Remove exhaust center tube, blah blah blah. Was it the right side? No, remove the catalyst. That's fine. That seems fine. What about this? Right, left bank. Did I imagine it? No, right here. It says removal for the right bank exhaust manifold and 3-way catalyst. Removal right bank. Step number 1, remove engine assembly. That's insane. It literally says to remove the engine, to remove the right side manifold and catalyst. Whatever. So, Dave, is that what you're doing? Are you pulling the whole engine for it? Actually, here's an update. It says it's been rough. Got one side done. Mechanics wanted 6K. Oh my gosh. 2 were back ordered for who knows how long. He bought the parts for $1,100. Yeah, I remember on Rock Auto as well. That's where I got my cats for the Titan rebuild that I did last year, 2 years ago now. They were like $700, and those are the ones that I cheaped out on. I mean, cats are just crazy expensive. It's just so insane. Midomir said I just pressed new upper ball joints into my Armada like an hour ago. Very cool. Did you use like one of those press kits that you rent from like AutoZone, or do you have like an actual, this press? Let's see here. Nick says, good luck putting those heat shields back on after cat replacement. Mine rattles like a paint can now that the coat is gone. Yeah. Same story on the Titan. And if I don't know if my buddy's here, he would, that helps me put them on. But if he is, he knows the pain of trying to get those things back in. There was literally 3 of us, my buddy, his brother, and myself. And we were just like trying to maneuver them and bend them back into shape. And, one's holding the bolt, other one's holding the ratchet. It's a freaking nightmare. Heat shields are the bane of my existence. In fact, I was going to do ceramic paint on mine and avoid getting the heat shields, but I ran out of time. I needed to get that truck done. And ceramic coating is like, if I remember, expensive, and at that point I was spending so much money, my head was spinning. All right, it says here, Kai says, do you have any recommendation for an inexpensive but good car code reader? So, this is crazy. It depends on how much detail you want. I I thought that, like I wanted everything wireless. Oh, just wireless, like, it's the future or whatever. And uh, I went when I the same story when my Xterra died in the middle of Georgia from the crank position sensor. I went to like Walmart and just picked up one of those stupid, simple, no batteries, wired, like crazy simple code reader. You plug it in, the OBD2 port powers it, run the code, tells you, it gives you a code description, so it's not just the number. And I was like, damn, this is actually like way more simple and easier to just plug this thing in than it is to get the wireless one out and pair it with my phone and then run the phone on it. And I had a separate phone just for it. I had an Android phone for it because it was an older one that, didn't work on Apple. So that one I was like, this is kind of nice. And I kept it in my Xterra, and that's the one I'm going to use to pull codes. I think it was like Walmart brand. Give me 1 second. Let's do this. Let's do a screen share, and I'll just tell you what one it was. Is this gonna work? Yeah. Oh, that's not right. How about that? That should do it. Okay. Hopefully you can see my screen. Let me know if you can. Yeah, should be fine. All right. OBD2 code reader. It was that one? No, it was this one right here. Less than 20 bucks. No, that's a lie. Why did I say that? I didn't know they had so many. It was in store. So do we have like a in store? Here we go. Oh, that's it. Here we go. For real this time. It's this one. So 40 bucks. Super simple. It will like give you, I forgot what it does exactly. It tells you to like, it routes you to like a website to help you diagnose the issue or something. It's pretty cool. Like it tells you where to go to look at, like to look it up or whatever. And this one has Bluetooth. I don't know if mine does. It may have been a little bit cheaper, but it is the Hyper Tough reader. And you know what? To be honest, I wouldn't spend a lot more than that to read codes. It's gotten so simple. It doesn't seem like that big of a deal. And then nowadays, with your phone, you just throw the code in. You say Nissan P0034 or whatever, and it just tells you everything that you need. Or search Ride the Car Guy on YouTube. Search the code first. All right. I'm Dave says my heat shields were already rattling, but I didn't snap a bolt in one. Oh, you did. Okay, I was supposed to say you didn't, because that's pretty impressive. Because I always snap at least one bolt per side every time I do heat shields. Yeah, you just have to let it go and say goodbye bolt and let the other bolts carry the weight. Amazon sometimes has cats on sale. Put it in your cart and wait. Okay. Don't know what brands are available, but that sounds fun. I am Dave. Any suggestions for something to put behind the heat shield to limit rattling? Gosh, no. To be honest, back in the day when I was a teenager, whenever I had heat shields rattle, I just took them off and threw them away, and just didn't use them. Probably not the wisest decision, but that was kind of my way to handle rattling. I wonder if you're talking about the place. I'm assuming you're talking about where the bolts aren't, right? I don't know, like steel wool or something. Stuff a piece of steel wool back there and hope it sticks. I don't know. With some high temperature adhesive. I'm not sure. That's a tough one. What's the process for resetting after the cat install? AutoStar guy said driving it for 5 minutes at various speeds. It depends. If you take your negative battery cable off and you pop all your O2 sensors before you like rip everything apart, I would do nothing, honestly. I would do nothing, and then if it throws a code, deal with it, because once you once you have those sensors off, I've taken so many sensors off and never done any type of reset. The only time you really need to is if you're pulling like your MAF sensor or throttle control. What is it? It's whatever Nissan calls the throttle body. I can't think what it's called. If you pull that apart, then sometimes it freaks out and you have to do a throttle position sensor reset, things like that. But other than that, I just plug it all back in and drive, and it should do it for you. Jonathan Stone says my wife says hello. Hello, Jonathan's wife. She's helped me a lot with my Xterra, replaced the fan clutch, and now it sounds like a fire truck going down the road. Is that normal or is it a cheap part? Okay. So if it sounds like a semi truck or a large truck that you get that really windy, really loud sort of sound, that means that your clutch is likely not disengaging. So that was the original issue with mine. So you're driving around and every time you hit the gas, even at like low RPMs, you get this super windy spin up sound, and it sounds like a fire truck or like a big truck. It's just not disengaging. So I would make sure let it get cool, and something I would do. I guess I wouldn't recommend doing it. Other people doing it, but basically start it cold and see if it's like pulling the air, if it's engaged, and like rev it a little bit at cool and see if it gets that really windy sound, but let it fully cool down, like fully cool down, and then try it. It should be disengaged and it should not be pulling air at that temperature. Once it gets up to speed and it gets hotter, then it'll engage the clutch, and then it will start pulling air, and that's how it should be, but not all the time. So I think it may just be a cheap part, or it may just be a defective part, and you may want to swap it out. Luckily not super terrible job to do. It's not really bad. Okay, looks like you guys are pretty good shape. Covered some comments, very nice. The last couple months, I've been running around kind of the southeast of the country, and we were just sort of camping around between houses. We sold our place in Florida, and we were sort of deciding to take a break from, I guess, home ownership for a little while. We had just bought a new camper, which I absolutely love, and we said, screw it, let's just kind of wait for some house prices to drop because the market's been crazy, and just sort of drive around. So we ended up in, of course, Florida, and then the hurricane sort of drove us out of Florida. We went up to Louisiana and Alabama, Texas, Kentucky, Tennessee. No, that's not true. Tennessee was earlier. And then made our way up to Michigan, and then bought this house. So unfortunately, with living in a camper effectively, you can't really make YouTube content, at least not easily or effectively. So that's sort of why I've been on this break. And to be honest, we rebuilt the Titan from the ground up, if you guys remember that. Xterra has always been just rock solid for me, so there's not really any issues for me to resolve for it. So I have great running vehicles, and I'm not living in a house where I have garage space to actually do the job, so kind of took a break from it. But the reason I'm here today, and the reason I'm streaming and trying to get back into it, is that we're starting to actually settle down in Michigan again, and I have space to start doing it. So we're gonna be getting back into it pretty shortly. So Nick says, was backing up and tapped the exterior into a brick wall. That sucks. I've done that. The bumper is intact, but the force broke the pins holding the step. Watching the video how to paint the rear to see if I can replace that. Yeah, so I do a couple of videos where I paint the bumper. The first one, the original one, like it would be like 6 years old now. That one I take the whole rear bumper off, and you can see where how the support structure for the step is. So you can find that there. I think it's just a couple bolts in the side. You can junkyard that part pretty easily, and then get the structure of that step back. And then I think the step itself snaps onto it. Just off the top of my head, it might screw in, but either way. good luck with that. I hit mine backing into my garage before I had my backup camera, and I hit some. It was a brick wall, but luckily it didn't bend anything. It just sort of scraped up the bumper. I am Dave says I didn't pull the negative battery cable before doing the first side. Should I disconnect it now? I pulled O2 on the finished side. Sorry for all the questions. I'm a noob at working on cars. Dave, so I'm gonna be straight with you. Yes, you should pull the negative battery cable whenever you're working with sensors. All right, that's the official Ride the Car Guy response. Now, do I always do that? Absolutely not. Sometimes, especially a little behind the scenes secret. Usually, if you see it on the screen, it'll like say right here, don't forget to remove the negative battery cable. That's because I forgot to do it and didn't show you on the video. And so I just put it on text at the bottom of the screen right here. So if you ever see that on my videos, that's because I forgot to do it. And I'm just letting you guys know the proper way to do it. So, but yes, you absolutely should remove it. Even if you do it right now, just do it right now. So that way when you're pulling stuff and disconnecting it, there's no chance of if you accidentally turn the key over or whatever and it doesn't see a bunch of sensors and might freak out a little bit, you can just avoid it. Jonathan says, thinking about buying an older Corvette, what are some things you would look for? I am admittedly very, I'm not like anti-Corvette, just not a fan. I do eventually want to get into older vehicles only because of their simplicity, right? Compared to modern vehicles. I think older vehicles, I would concentrate on things like, of course, checking for leaks, right? That's what you always want to check for. But also, if the current owner is willing, test compression. I think that's going to be, that compression tells you a lot about the health of an engine. It tells you, of course, about your rings, your cylinder wall quality, your valves, some of the major components of the engine. I think my tip would be in an older car, try to get them to let you test compression if you're very serious about it, especially if it's a lot of money. If you're getting one that isn't like a total project, concentrate on compression. And anyone else, guys, if you want to give Jonathan some tips about older vehicles, especially if you have experience with it. I don't, but just from like watching videos and kind of my understanding of engines, compression would be a good telltale of any issues. Smell the oil, smell if it has an excess gassy smell, or check the quality of the fluids. And honestly, depending on who you're buying it from, if they're very cool and they're nice, and you're really serious about it and it's a big project, you could also ask them to do oil analysis. So I don't know what your situation is, but if you're with someone or working with someone that's super cool about it, you can say like, hey, I'll pay for an oil change for you if you will let me take some of this oil and get it analyzed, because oil analysis is insane. It will tell you all kinds of information about the engine. And I made a video on that. I can, it says, I think the title is, I got my engine oil analyzed and here's why you should too. I think it's called that. But that goes through analysis and just the crazy amount of stuff you can tell from the quality and what's in your oil. So you can tell bearings are starting to go. You can tell if there is head gasket, of course. All kinds of major issues can be revealed with the oil. So those are my tips. Jackie, any vids on O2 sensors? No, unfortunately not. Just the ones that I did as part of a rebuild. So I deal with the O2 sensors when I drop the transmission on the Titan, when I rebuild the Titan engine, and that might be it actually. It might be those two. So those are the only times I really deal with O2 sensors, but no video specific to it. Sorry. Chris, hey brother, how are things? Things are good, my man. I have potentially a large project coming up for Ride the Car Guy, and I think, well, I guess now is as good a time as any to talk about it, right? My Xterra and my Titan right now are doing well, and there's not really a whole lot to do to them, right? I bought the, I redid the engine on the Titan, and the Xterra again has been rock solid. However, not too long ago, I did a poll on my channel. And let me see if I can find it for you real quick. It's going to be youtube.com. And let's grab, what is it called? It's like social, no, community, right here. All right, here's what I did. Screen and webcam, here we go. So I put this poll out, and I said, hey, I'm closing in on my next workspace. This is probably very small. Let's see if I can make it bigger. Oh, dang. Okay, there you go. Just a little bit bigger. I said, I'm closing in my new workspace. Bought a place in Michigan. You know, the place I said I would never live. And I want to start shooting seasons. I'm actually leaning more towards this the longer the time goes on. I think I'm going to move Ride the Car Guy to seasons, and we'll talk about that in a second, but and making it project-based. So, what do I think the new project should be? This was kind of a foregone conclusion. I was pretty damn confident that I knew what all you guys were going to say. And I had some ideas. Jesse, my husband, wants to race. He wants to get back into SCCA. He used to do it with a Miata back in the day. And I told him I would build him a race car if he wanted one. So that was one of the options. Get it, of course, buy a Nissan, stick with the brand, right? Sort of expand my channel a little bit, make a race car. Another option was to start using, I bought another truck, and like that tows really well. So I was going to use that to go down to Florida, get like cheap cars there, come up here, show you guys like working on and fixing on it, more of like a here's what I did type of video as opposed to here's how to do it type of video, and then sell them up here and then kind of move on to the next one and kind of repeat that process. Then of course I said, you know, one of my options was VK swapping in an Xterra, and as you can see, it was an absolute blowout for the VK swap. And then the last option was buy and fix up the first gen X or Frontier, which was a second place, not a close second place, but I still really love that idea. I would love to get my hands on an older Xterra or older Frontier. Again, the engines are a lot simpler, and there's a whole crowd of people that still wheel in these things, right? They still go out and they hit the trails with them. They treat them just like they treat the second gen, right? So there is the viewership may not be as big, but I still want to help kind of service that community. So regardless, those were the options, and clearly the VK swap was the overwhelming winner, right? So, oh hey Meg, that's Meg's my sister. So that's what I think I'm going to do. And I think I'm going to take VK and I'm going to stuff it into an Xterra. And people have been wanting this for years now. You guys have talked about it, you know, even jokingly over on the Xterra subreddit. Everyone's like, oh, you know, VK swap, VK swap, VK swap. And I've wanted to do it, and I've wanted to do it for a long time, but it's a huge undertaking, right? And not only that, I don't really want to do it on my existing vehicles. So, and here's why, 2 reasons. I love my Titan, and I want to keep it. Okay, that's reason number 1. The engine's great, I rebuilt it, it's beautiful. Well, I mean, the truck is ugly, but the engine's beautiful, and I'm very happy with it. And I want that truck. If I take the VK out of it, obviously, not usable. Secondly, my Xterra is 2-wheel drive, and my Titan is 4-wheel drive. So even if I wanted to do the job, it would be insane. I would either have to 4-wheel convert my Xterra, which is a huge no, or do some sort of wacky way to mash the 2 together. Maybe like a plate. What do they call it? Like a conversion plate between the VK and my manual transmission for the Xterra. Not interested in those things. So here's what I think I'm going to do, and actually you guys can help me with this. I think I'm just going to buy another Xterra and another Titan, and then I'm going to take the engine out of that Titan and either scrap it or use it for another project, and then I have a completely fresh Xterra to do the job on, and it's going to be a 4-wheel drive Xterra. So all the 4-wheel drive videos for the Xterra that I haven't been able to do these last 7 years, I'll be able to do with a new vehicle, which I think is a great idea. So that's sort of that would be the big project of the year, if you will. And so if we do move Ride the Car Guy to seasons, it would be like, season 2023. And the main project of Ride the Car Guy is VK swap and Xterra. And there would be, of course, other stuff, interspersed in there. I back with all where my friends and family live, so I'm going to have all their vehicles to do stuff on, and there'd be other content. But the channel would be focused around one project a year. And the main reason that I'm doing that is, first of all, I think it'd be fun for you guys to like follow an actual series, right? Secondly, I'm a snowbird, and so I live in Michigan, and my house is going to be here, my home's going to be here, but I'm going to leave to Florida every winter, starting soon. But so it's again at the end of the sort of season, if you will, there's going to be a multi-month break where I'm not going to be able to make large scale, high production value how-to videos on vehicles, and it just makes more sense. It sort of feeds into that seasonality, if you will. So I hope you guys love the idea. I'm pretty excited about it. I think that if where you guys come in, and you guys can hopefully, the community can help me out a little bit, is I have some money saved up from Ride the Car Guy, but not a ton. And so if I'm going to pull this off, I'm going to need to get a very, very affordable Xterra and a very, very affordable Titan to be able to pull this off. I've looked at buying just the VK, but the problem is, to do a VK swap the way I want to do it, I need the engine, the transmission, the wiring harness, and the IPDM, the PCM, well, not PCM, the ECM. So I need all of those things. And when you go to eBay, you search for VKs, yeah, you can go get a $1,000 VK and get it shipped to your house, but it's just the engine with some accessories on it. I need all of it. So it's going to be, it's a lot more involved. So I need a full driving, preferably decent condition Titan, and I need at least the body and the working sort of, we'll call it the rolling chassis of an Xterra, right? I need the differentials, the differentials and axles, right, for the Xterra. And the body can be a little rough. The engine doesn't even have to run. I can get a dead one. I can tow it. I need that type of Xterra and that type of Titan. So it's a tall order, but if you guys see anything out there, it would be a massive help if you could send me links or let me know of someone who's selling one. It would be a massive help. We're talking like crazy cheap, guys. Like the Xterra and the Titan would probably both have to be under $3,000 a piece, right? So especially on a Titan, that's a really, really tough call. And it says here, let's get back to this real quick. Jackie says, love it. If anyone can do it, it's you. Oh, thank you. That's very nice. Appreciate all the help you put folks learning their cars. Again, thank you. Absolutely. Chris says, agree. Awesome. Thanks, Chris. Mine's 4-wheel drive, but transfer case needs rebuilt, so holding off a bit. Yeah. Transfer case rebuild. Fun. What your Xterra and years? So I have a couple emails out to some of the professionals that redo the wiring harnesses for this particular job, like an actual VK swap, and there are preferred years that work well together and preferred features, right? So the Titan would probably be easier if it was a floor shift as opposed to a column shift, right? Because they work a little bit differently. The engines might be a little bit different from year to year, but I think it's kind of open, Jackie, to answer your question. So probably a little earlier, right? So just for the sake of cost. So for the Titan, that goes as far back as 2004, and for the Xterra, as far back as 2005. And so it's really more about the features more than it is the years. So for the, like I said, for the Titan needs to be a 4-wheel drive, and the Xterra needs to be a 4-wheel drive, which I know just jacks up the price. So I might be out of my mind. I might be insane for thinking that I can get these two things, you know, for those prices. But I'm certainly going to try, so I can try to make this video series for you guys. In fact, why don't we look at a few? Let's look at a few here. I know that, I guess Craigslist. What are some good, where do you guys shop for cars? Do you guys shop for like cheap cars? Is there like a site I should go to other than like just good old-fashioned Craigslist to look for it? Because that would be, it's always kind of tough. Oh, nice. Jackie says 04 Titan 05 Xterra. Good to know. Good friends with the shop local here. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I would even consider, I looked at like places like Copart and where you can go and just go buy like wrecked cars, right? Either way, I could get a wrecked Titan, and as long as the drivetrain is good, just use that. But let's see, Xterra. Oh, also, did you guys hear about Schrockworks going under? That's kind of crazy. Apparently, I don't know if you're familiar with Schrockworks. I've never worked with them, but they apparently went out of business just a couple weeks ago. Kind of sucks. But they were known for kind of servicing the off-road community, and they had like bumpers and side steps and like welded metal stuff. But kind of a bummer, man. Kind of a bummer. All right, let's see here. What do we got? Xterra. Cars and trucks. What do we want? Lowest price, naturally. And then we also want owner. Okay, this already sucks. Hold on, let's change the area size. Change location. Bounce that and go. There we go. All right. 179 mile radius from where I'm at right now. And this pickings are slim, as they say. Slim pickings. So we see here 03, 06, hold up. Hold on. Runs and drives good, family owned, since new. Kid banged up front end last year, bummer. Not that I care. Great transportation for someone that needs a vehicle, V6 on blah, blah, blah. 248 on the clock, woohoo! Transmission replaced at 185, low mileage. Decent tires, $2 grand. Clean green title, baby. That's not terrible. That's body panels. I like the color. It's kind of cool, like a sandy gray. SE, they claim it's 4-wheel drive. Guys, did I just find this right off the bat? Hold on. I thought this was gonna be way harder. It's in Dearborn Heights. Okay. That is not far from me. Huh. If I could swing this, if it drives, runs and drives, 4-wheel drive, headlights are what? $200. I would junkyard the grill. That's probably $50. Hood's probably going to be $125 from a junkyard, maybe a little less. That's pretty sweet. Screw it. Let's do it, guys. We're just gonna email this dude. What am I doing? All right, we're doing it. All right. Well, this is kind of cool. I'm gonna reach out to this person because again, for this one, I don't need the drivetrain, right? I don't care that it has 250,000 miles on it and that a kid banged it up. I just need the rolling chassis, the body, make sure it's fine. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna switch back over, and then I'm gonna draft an email. I'll just start it, and then I'll set it aside. But well, damn, that's pretty cool. All right, John says, "What up, bro?" Hey, what up, bro? To you. I hope everything's going well. We're just talking about the next big project here. Switching gears for the next season of Ride the Car Guy. All right, let me get this started so I don't forget. Awesome. Very cool. Xterra for sale. Awesome. Well, shoot, if I can get that Xterra, get it down to like, I don't know, $1,500 maybe, then Xterra's taken care of, and then I just need to get the Titan, and then we'll just freaking do it. And then my husband can bitch about all the vehicles in the backyard. Okay. John says, hey, I got both a Pro 4X Titan 2009, awesome, and a 2011 Pro 4X Xterra. Dang, love both vehicles. Good to see you live in. Yeah, that's sick. Those are nice vehicles. The 2009 was not. No, that wasn't the refresh. That was like 2015 for the Titan, right? So it's probably the same body style as mine, which I actually prefer the less rounded one. So that's super sick. And the Pro 4X Xterra. That's sad. Well, it's sad for me because my poor Xterra, and don't tell anyone, guys, but I live on just almost 2 acres, but it's flat. It's like farmland flat, and I got my freaking Xterra like caught in the backyard in a rut, and I was so embarrassed for myself. I was so irritated that I'm making all these videos modifying this poor Xterra, and I can't even get out of a rut in my flat backyard. So great shame. I survived. I got out of the rut like after 10 minutes of like throwing all the random shit I could find in the yard into the rut to get some traction. But it was icy. It was cold. We'll give it the benefit of winter. It was in pretty rough shape, but I was one wheel peeling back there and just digging myself a rut. I was so pissed. I need the short answer. My current Xterra is going to be my run around town vehicle. My second Xterra with the big fat V8 in it will be my off-road rig, and I'll go have fun with that on the trails. Let's see here, John. Anyways, I'm about to drain Titan trans fluid and the coolest part about vehicles. The coolest part? The transmission. The oil filters, air filters, the exact same thing. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, so oil filters, air filters, exact same thing. Any idea if the Titan has a trans filter in it or it's going to drain and fill? Yes, the Titan has, a filter, yes, it has a screen. And if you watch where I pull the Titan trans out, and I did the fluid, of course, as part of it, when I did the oil pump. And it, I ended up not doing it because it has these bolts. It has the control, so you take the lower panel off, it has the filter, then it has the control board. And it has these stupid ass little bolts that slide in from the top of the control board, and then there's a nut that it goes into on the other side of the filter. When you try to loosen it, just the top bolt just spins with you, and it drives me up a wall. So I was like, I looked at it, I shoved my inspection camera up there, it looked brand new, it looked perfect, so I said, F it, said F it, I'm not going to do it. So, but the answer is yes, it has it. You just pull that big black panel, that oil pan off the bottom, or fluid pan, transmission fluid pan off, and then it's exposed, it's right there. Yeah, that's all. I am Dave says, I love seeing your channel and production progressing, man. I know it's probably slow going for this content type, but keep it up, my good man. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. I am going to keep it up. I've bought more studio lighting. I bought a new gimbal with some what's called eagle eye or raven's eye. So we're going to see like some movement. I am trying to progress my production value and continue to increase that. But thank you. I appreciate that, Dave. Jackie, you rock, keep up, or open a shop. Yeah, I would love that. No one wants to work on Xterras anymore. You'd be rich. Love my ex. Want to keep it forever. I love my ex. I want to keep it forever as well. I would totally love to open a shop. I actually, Jackie, I looked into having people come to my property and work on their vehicles, like my workshop. And It's not really feasible right now, only because Ride the Car Guy, you guys know my channel's not huge, right? We have less than 50,000 subs. I don't really have the money for proper insurance to do that. I could out of like my personal funds, but I don't really want to do that if I'm being honest. But like I want Ride the Car Guy to be self-sustaining, right? I want to try to make a little bit of money for me, and I want it to support itself. And so Ride the Car Guy as a channel can't afford the proper insurance to have strangers come and work on their vehicles in my house. As much as I would love that, it would be a really fun idea. John says, change the front rear diff fluid on the Titan. Rear fluid was old, seemed fine. Front diff oil looked like it had glitter. Ooh, that's not good. When I go to drive a four-wheel drive, it feels like the front wheels have some resistance to them when I turn to do anything straight line. It has resistance. I think it's toast, but the silver looking fluid resistance. Yeah. Yeah, that's certainly not promising. So I don't know if you watched my Titan rebuild series, but I did when I took the front diff off. It was brutal. Like the magnet had like probably a half of inch of garbage stuck to it, and it was glittery. So when I test drove it, was the only time I ever drove it in four-wheel drive. I just wanted to make sure it worked, and it was fine, but it had some issues disengaging, which was kind of strange. So I said, screw it, I want this thing, let's buy it, and I bought it anyways, and I've never since put it in four-wheel drive. So once I get it back, it's still in storage in Kentucky. Once I get it back, I'll go throw it in four-wheel drive and see how it works. But rebuilding the front diff was actually on my list of things to do and make a video on the Titan. So expect a first-gen Titan front differential rebuild at some point on my channel. I just don't know when. I don't know when. Because my Titan is also having some valve train issues. If you guys recall, again, if you watch the videos, then you know that the only thing, there's like two things I didn't do on the Titan. I didn't rebuild the valve train, right? I didn't clean the heads and I didn't do all the valve clearances. I paid a head shop to do that. And I didn't hole in the cylinders. I wanted a professional to do that as well. And of those two things, one of them is already having issues. The Titan will tick on startup, and the tick is up top, like in the rear up top, and it will it goes away once the oil hits it. So I think the valve clearances are wrong, and I'm super annoyed because that's a very involved job. But when that gets up here, that's going to be numero uno. I'm going to take care of that, and then I can start doing other stuff to the Titan, like the front diff rebuild. Magnet wasn't too bad. Look, the oil was concerning. I live in Park City, Utah. Hey, that's so funny you say that, John. I use four-wheel drive basically daily. Yeah, I bet up there. Wow, interesting. So, John, we were literally just making plans with my parents to go out to Utah, and Park City's on the list. I've been there. I was there. Oh gosh, probably at least a decade ago now, maybe closer to 15 years, and it's unbelievably beautiful there. You live in a very beautiful part of the country. So I just thought that's funny. We like seriously 2 hours ago we were looking at flights, so very cool. Oh, John says you learned a lot from the channel. Appreciate it. It's given me a lot of respect and love for both my vehicles. Yeah, would you ever Titan swap your Xterra? Yeah, so as part of the VK swap, I probably will Titan swap the Xterra as well, because why not? If it's, well, I shouldn't say that. Let me preface this. If the front suspension parts on the Titan are healthy, then I'll probably do that. It was kind of funny because I redid the front suspension on the Titan, but threw away the old OEM parts, which were fine, so that was pretty stupid, but regardless. That is part of the plan if the front suspension parts on the Titan are healthy. All right, we've been doing this an hour. Let me see if there's anything else I want to talk to you guys about. I think I hit it all. I am going to be leaving, so I wanted to get this video out. I want to come do a live chat with you guys and hang out just because it's been so long. But to answer John's question that just popped in, I am in Michigan, and and I'm not going to be here for long. So it's the winter time. I'm going to get out as fast as humanly possible. I have the Titan is in Kentucky, and my camper is in a freaking cave in Kentucky. You know what? If you guys haven't seen this video, I don't know if you guys, I don't expect you guys to watch like every freaking thing I put out, but I do want to show you on my travel channel, naturally, I have a video on the storage of my camper. We freaking stored it in a cave, bros. Check this shit out. We did right there. So watch it whenever. If you don't ever watch it, that's perfectly fine. I don't expect it. I'm not trying to pimp my other channels, but Jesse and I stored our camper in a cave in Kentucky. It's so cool. I didn't want to winterize it, and we were coming up anyways to Michigan, and we were passing through Kentucky. We stayed in Kentucky, and then and we just looking it up. It's like, shit, check this out. And sure enough, you know, if you know anything about caves, you know they're like naturally temperature controlled, right? They're like 40, like between like 40 and 60 degrees, and they you don't need to winterize it, right? There's no pests, no animals down there, no light, no UV issues, no rain, no weather. I mean, the temperature, it's just so perfect. So such a cool thing. We went and stored it in there. So we got to pick that up. We're gonna go pick that up. I also bought another truck. We'll talk. You know, we don't need to talk about that. It's a Ram. Nobody cares about that. I bought a diesel towing truck that I'm gonna use to tow everything around. But that is so cool. I want to share that with you. I think that's really neat. Very cool. John says, take me if I can give you a list of places to see for you and your parents. Yeah, very cool. Cummins 4BT. Yes. We fish the Xterra, drive to Utah late spring, come to Moab. Yes, I would love to do Moab. Moab is where you see all tons of videos out there about four-wheel driving in Moab, which is super cool. I think that says Cliff. I'm sorry if that's wrong. It says welcome back. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. John says Cummins 4BT in your Xterra. I would love to do a diesel swap in an Xterra. I think that'd be cool. However, I've looked up how much those things cost, and they're insane. I can't even remotely afford to do, at least not a brand new one, right? I can't afford to do a Cummins swap in an Xterra, as awesome as that would be. Especially if I kept it manual, right? Like a manual transmission Cummins diesel, that'd be insane. So cool. Oh, all right. It's been a little over an hour. We're going to wrap this up, but I really hope that you guys, I hope you guys follow along this year. I'm hopefully doing some very exciting things. I really want to get this VK swap going. I am going to email the dude that I just saw on Craigslist over, like a couple cities over from me, and have some questions about that Xterra. But if we can make that work, that would be super sick, because that'd be very affordable. It's a great start. You know, I'm not spending a lot of money on that. And then, and that's going to be it, guys. I think that we're going to be focusing on projects from here on out, or at least we're going to try it and see how it goes. Go via seasons, and then take a break during the winter, and then come back in the summer and continue on large-scale projects, and then just kind of go from there and just see where it takes us. Maybe what I'll do is this season will be the VK swap for the Xterra, and then the next season will be the next thing on that list, that poll that I did, which would be buying a first-gen Xterra or Frontier and maybe restoring one of those the following year, which I think would be pretty cool. So very fun. I hope you all have a great evening. Thank you for spending so much time with me on a Saturday. It's I know you all have lives and things to do, and I really appreciate you spending your time with me. There's a couple more comments I'll hit up before we say goodbye, but we'll say here. It says, come visit Diesel Brothers. They're cool guys. I've seen their videos. They are very cool. There's a guy in Canada that come and swap his Xterra. That's awesome. John Anderson, do you have an email? I'll shoot you an email. I've got questions with other projects. Yeah. So my public email for, I should probably start putting it literally right here on my feed, but it is just ride@rtcg.tv. So there you go. That's my email. You can hit me up there with really anything, guys. If you have questions or need any assistance with anything, I'll do my best to help as much as I can. I try to get to those emails. I know there's some people that are probably waiting on a response from me, so if you're here, I'm sorry, but I will try my best to respond. Just doing all of this moving and thing it's been nuts. So I've been everywhere, nowhere. So there's my email, John. I am Dave. Maybe collab with Sarah in tune. Yeah. So Sarah, I have never reached out to her, in person, but I have watched some of her content, and I do like it. It's good stuff. So maybe, I don't know. Collabs are something that I've done very little of, or thought very little about, but it is, it's certainly something that helps grow the channel too. So it's certainly not a bad idea. Let's see here. Sweet things, stay warm in the UP. Yeah, I'm not in the UP. I did live there for a while, but I am in the LP, the Lower Peninsula, near the Ohio border. But either way, it's we need to stay warm nonetheless. All right, that's it, folks. I really appreciate your time, guys, and I don't know. That's it. I'll see you guys soon. Expect some content in the coming months, and I'll probably reach out to you guys, the audience, my viewers or whatever, however you want to call it, about this swap coming up soon. I'm going to need some assistance, certainly with the Titan, maybe with the Xterra, but we'll see. And that's it, guys. Have a great night. Thank you so much for watching.